Yes, people, welcome to another edition of Sarcasm City TV presents the Big Fights, Big Nights Only show, hosted by myself, Flawless Mr. Take Note. I'm also joined by my West Coast Don, JK. We are not joined by Jesse, but we are joined by my Don Lindrix, who does the MMA show on Sarcasm City TV. Walk to the Octagon first and foremost. JK, what you telling me? You good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. And Lindrix, what you telling me? You good?
I'm blessed, bro. What you saying?
All right, I'm good. So we just seen Usyk at work and win via unanimous decision versus Derek Chisora. So you know what? JK, we'll start with you. Give us your thoughts on the fight, because both me and you picked Usyk by KO. So what was your thoughts on the judges' scorecards and the bout overall?
I think the scorecards were they're pretty right with the scorecards.
Okay.
I mean, like how we talked about in the prediction show, like about the power. I said it wouldn't really matter, you know, once he gets tired.
Yeah.
And we seen that. So, and I also, the one thing I didn't like about Usyk was when he got White hurt, he didn't push the attack.
Yeah.
That was one thing I wanted to see when he had him hurt. He didn't like really push it. I'm like fucking cussing at the TV and everything. Like fucking knock this motherfucker out, man.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing I didn't like about the fight. It was a good fight though. I just wanted to see him push the attack when he had him hurt.
Yeah. I think Usyk he was careful because obviously he's wary of Chizora's power. But I thought I'll get onto it exactly I'll get onto it in detail what I thought, but like I agree with what you're saying. When I think it was the 7th round where he rocked him and he got saved by the bell.
That one.
I think
get saved by the bell.
If he didn't get saved by the bell, I could have seen Usyk pressing the attack there. But just before we go on to Lindrix, everyone who's locking in, make sure you hit the like button on this video. Share it across your socials and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Lindrix, give us your thoughts on the fight.
Not gonna lie, bro. I thought the scorecards were a bit mad, and I didn't think that the gap should have been as close as it was on the as far as it was on the scorecards. I think it should have been closer. I can't listen to these commentators no more, bro, because they were chatting bare.
We're gonna get to that
shit, bro. At the beginning, like for me, Chizzora definitely won the first 4 rounds. Like he came out, he was controlling the pace, he was aggressive. I agreed with Tony Bellew's statements about it, but my thing is this: the fact of the matter is, no matter what happened, if it goes the distance, Usyk was always going to win that fight for 2 reasons. One, he's the better technician, so the judge is going to score it on the way he looks in the fight for that, one. And 2, Usyk can make their money in it. He can be the brand. Chizora's career is towards the end now. If he challenges for the title, he's just going to get blown away. At least with Usyk, they've got a story to go off. They can make some money off it. They can make it a big pay-per-view fight. No one really cares about seeing Chizzora versus Joshua because they know he's just going to get banged out. Do you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. Just before you continue, let me get to some of the comments. So Lauren here said, here we go. What is it? Usyk message just now. Anthony, how are you? I'm coming for you. Okay, I'm interested in seeing that, but we're gonna get to that. Get to that and that. Omar Mali says, yes, people. Salute to you each and every time. He said, Chizzora is kind of sus, kissing the other guy. Yeah, that's all wild. Lauren also said, did not expect it to go that deep. G's. Shout out Giuseppe. Yeah, me man said good day from Australia. Salute, boys. Thank you for locking in. Man's down under and that. Omar Mali says, Flawless struggling to breathe under that mask. Now I'm just tired, fam. I'm just hella tired, man. I'm tired. That's what that is, isn't it? Yeah, me trying to create content for you lot. I'm tired. That's what that is. Lindrix, do you have any further comments on the fight before I get into it?
Yeah, I just feel like it all depends on how you score a fight and what you look at, because Chizzora was definitely the aggressor. He definitely landed some great shots. I think he landed more shots than they gave him credit for, especially the commentators. That was irritating. I think it was a closer fight than they made out. I think it could have been a draw.
Yeah,
if you wanted it to be, it could have been a draw.
Oh, that's nonsense to me. No way is that a draw. The most
Really?
round, the most to me, I disagree with you when you said the only thing I disagree with what you're saying was Chizzora won the first 4 rounds. I think I gave him the first 2. I think I gave him out of 4.
Really?
Yeah, was it first 2? Yeah, and I'm gonna watch it back. But yeah, if I remember correctly, because the commentators were just trying to hype him up. Yes, Chizzora was. You can't just be aggressive and press forward. Like
He
you
was
can't just be.
wild.
Yeah,
But the commentators were talking about Chizzora. The commentators were talking about Usyk. Everything was about, oh, Usyk looks great. Usyk's doing this. And Usyk wasn't doing nothing.
no.
He was just moving. He was running.
Nah, see that? I disagree with the running statement because it's like, yo, cut off the ring, innit? Chizzora cut off the ring. You know what I'm saying? The ring's not that big. You know what I'm saying? It's like cut off the ring, and Chizzora did that well at points. But we knew Usyk was gonna move. When I'm talking about the commentators going on about Chizzora, I'm talking about after, after the bout. Then I'm talking.
Right.
You was like, oh, he was up. To me, I didn't give him the first 4 rounds. I think from round 5 to 12, I think it was just the 9th round I gave Chizzora. To me, it's not close. 115 to 113 to me is wild. Hear me? But I think 118 was one of those scorecards, 118 to 110. I think that's wild. Anything 117, 111, 116, 112 to me is accurate. I didn't score the fight on a round by round basis. You know what I'm saying? Omar Mali says Halloween was yesterday as well. Take that mask off. Nah, I'm with JK. You get what I'm saying? It's still Halloween over there. You know what I'm saying? Still Halloween over there, fam.
Yet over here.
There you go. And they even had it. It's daytime over there. JK, what time is it where you are now?
It is I think it's 5:56, almost 6 o'clock.
See, there you go. So it's evening over there. I'm with JK on this one. But yeah, back to the fight. For people who are like worried about whether Usyk can take punches and things of that nature, yo, Usyk did bits. You know what I'm saying?
Take punches. He could definitely take punches.
That was the big question. Like, yo, look who got stunned. Never once in that fight did Usyk look stunned. Yes, he was affected yes, he looked bothered because Chizzora can punch. You get me? Despite his boxing skills, Chizzora can punch. But never one time did he look stunned. Did his legs stiffen up? Did he get dazed? At no point. And he got caught. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Usyk was backing up Chizzora at points. And I was like, that's roles reversed. You get what I'm saying?
What was it? Do you think that was down to Chizora's fatigue more than anything?
I think it's fatigue, 1, and I think 2. Usyk, even though he's not got big KO power, he hits sharp. You know, he's still like
he's accurate, so it's gonna hurt.
Yeah. And Matthew Macklin said it. He's still a 15-stone man hitting you. You're gonna feel it. You know what I'm saying? Even if he's not knocking you out, like there's points where Chizzora was like backing up and things, but maybe he was trying to lull him into a false sense of security. But Usyk.
Or
to
just
me,
take
it was
a break.
Yes, and that I didn't take in a break, but yes, Usyk to me was impressive as I expected him to be. He answered my questions in terms of are you comfortable at this weight? Like, can you take punches? Can you be a problem? Yes, and I think Usyk made a great point in the post-bout interview when he said, "I've been out of the ring a year, so I think ring rust can play. I think we'll see a better Usyk the next time."
Yeah, because that was the
4 or 5
best
months.
performance.
No, not at all. He gave himself 3 out of 10, though. Man said 3 out of 10.
What I will say is I think Chizzora had a part to play in that because I think Chizzora made the fight uncomfortable for him.
Yes.
He made the fight uncomfortable. And the thing is, it's one thing taking a right hand from Chizzora, but it's another thing taking a right hand from a Wilder or a Joshua. That's different, bro. That's different. Even a Dillian White, bro. If he fought Dillian White, he'd have problems with Dillian as well.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, they're all way more accurate punchers, man. Chizzora, he was pretty wild, and a lot of the shit he was throwing in the first 3 to 4 rounds, he was landing some, but a lot of shit was hitting shoulders and gloves, man. And I think that's the reason too why Usyk was like holding back a little bit because how wildly he was swinging, how wildly Chizzora was swinging. He probably thought he would have got caught with something.
Yeah.
That's a valid point. Oh yeah, just letting people know in about 5 minutes or so, we will put the StreamYard link in the YouTube so you can come on and have your say. This is the first time we've done this. We did say we was going to open up the lines in it, so don't come on. Don't be playing no porn sounds or any stupidness like that. You get what I'm saying? The man will just remove you, block you from the channel. You get what I'm saying? Sentiment FC says no Gunshy. Nah, Gunshy's not here. We're hoping he'll be back for the Tank Davis Santa Cruz because we'll be going live at that as well. Go on.
I think he didn't show up again because he picked the wrong person again and bet on the wrong person.
Oh, because he did say that Usyk. He did say that he was picking Usyk to win, but he was gonna put a bet on.
Then he
Chizzora.
changed his mind. He changed
You
his
know
mind
what?
and said Chisora's gonna win.
He said so much shit that I actually can't remember. You get what I'm saying? I actually can't remember. And shout out Bits and Bobs. He said, yes, flawless man came here to support. Salute. So, all right, let's get into this then before we. Oh, Lauren Wood, David Santa Cruz is 4 a.m., I believe, UK time. Who do you want to see? Dream matchup. Who do you want to see Usyk against next? JK, I'll ask you that question.
Ooh, I would like to see him against somebody more his size. I think he needs some more work at heavyweight. I would say why not like Ruiz?
That's
an interesting one. All right, same question to you, Lindrix.
I actually agree with you, JK. Ruiz would be a good one. I think Povetkin, maybe a Povetkin, because Povetkin's more skilled than Chizzora, but he's not at the prime age where he's gonna be just throwing it all out there. Do you know what I mean? But he is more skilled than Chizzora. I think that would be a better step up for him, or a Ruiz, rather than him going straight to a Wilder or a Joshua. I think that's mad. But he's what is he number one contender now?
He's Usyk. Yes, yeah. Usyk is still the WBO mandatory. Obviously, we don't know what exactly is going on, but yes, he's still that's mandatory. Mad. Yeah. So who did you say you was picking? Sorry, who do you want to see him against?
Either a Ruiz, I agree with JK, or a Povetkin.
Okay, that's interesting. Just to let everybody know as well, I have put the StreamYard link in the description. So if anybody does want to jump on, this is your chance. You lot got so much to say in the comments, innit? So come on and have your say in our live and there, innit? You can see this shit's not that easy, especially in a mask. You know what I'm saying? So you lot jump on and have your say. The heavyweight division though is heating up though. Still, you got Wilder who came out and said what he said. Obviously, you got Fury, you have Joshua. They're the main three. Now you have.
What did Wilder say?
Oh, did you not see his Twitter post?
No, bro.
I didn't watch it in full. Go on, JK. Let us know.
So basically, he finally spoke on the whole glove thing. If you know how he was silent.
Okay.
About it, but like the whole media was talking about it, he was silent, so he finally spoke up, and then he like posted a video of the first fight of the corner man pulling his glove down.
Right.
And then so the second fight, he was like, "Yo, you guys tried to do the same thing in the second fight, but this time you scratched my ear." He was like, "That's why my ear was bleeding in the second fight, because I guess somehow he's saying his fingers, because if the glove is pulled down, your fingers are right there. So he's saying that's how he got that cut in his ear."
Right.
And then I guess he was saying there was something in his glove because that's how he has like the dent.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what basically.
Take the L, bro. Just take the L and move on.
Yeah, I was thinking that, it's so sad to see someone the caliber of Wilder, you get me? Someone the caliber of Wilder just can't take a loss. It's like, you got beat by the better man. Like, it happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no shame in losing to Fury. You know what I'm saying? Like, Fury's undefeated. You know what I'm saying? Like, Fury's undefeated.
Man, you know what? Cotto was like Cotto was the perfect example, man. Like, if somebody cheated, they're gonna get caught. It's gonna come out. Just go get your get back.
Yeah.
When Cotto beat Margarito's ass that second fight. Just go get your get back, man. If he cheated and everything and they find the evidence, okay, let it happen. Just go get your get back and then let that situation take care of itself.
But Wilder was never going to go and fight Fury again. He was always going to let the contract run out, because you're not going to lose to man 3 times. That's him done. Do you know what I mean?
Here's the thing, though. What he said today was, you owe me the rematch. Why are you going to go and fight Takum? Quit running, blah, blah, blah. That's what Wilder came out and said today. So Wilder's saying he wants the rematch. Yeah. Wilder fighting
Takum?
Yes, that's rumors. Rumor has it.
Come on, man. They were saying that he was going to fight Joshua a week ago.
Nah, you got to think, fam, though. Nah, but we're talking December, though. You know what I'm saying? This is December. You're talking December on that. You know what I'm saying? And we have Beans on the line. Shout out my guy.
Yes, Monday.
Yes, Beans. Yeah, man.
Yes,
Beans meet JK. JK meet Beans.
JK.
Yeah?
You good? What's going on, bro? You good?
Yeah. What are you telling me, fam? Everything blessed?
Yeah, man, you're blessed.
Yeah. All good. Just before Beans gets into and gives his thoughts on the fight as well, people, make sure you hit the like button, share this across all, you get me, social media. I mean, share this across all social media platforms, and also subscribe, hit the notification bell. Is the link not on YouTube? I'll check. Beans, give us your thoughts on the fight anyway while I sort this out, yeah?
Yeah. So, I think Usyk shown us everything that we already knew about him. Good foot movement. One thing I was disappointed in with Chizzora is they didn't cut the ring off. I know you guys have kind of touched on it already watching the show live. Yeah, he didn't cut the ring well off. That's what I see. He applied the right pressure, but Usyk was too slick. His movement. I think that's probably maybe something that Chizzora was struggling with. It's difficult to get someone to spar that's got that kind of movement, especially in that division. So that's the benefit what Usyk has got, but I don't know if he can take that same kind of pressure against quality operators that can box like Joshua and Fury. That's the problem he's going to have, because those guys will know how to cut the ring off. So it was a good performance, though. It was a good performance. I agree with what you saying, Flawless, about the scorecards. I think the one that you mentioned at 118 to 110, that was in the previous fight. Selby and Gambos. That was ridiculous. My days. That was shocking. That was shocking. Disgusting decision.
There always seems to be, even when like there's a unanimous, I'm not saying so much today, but like when there's a boxing bout and it's a unanimous decision, one of the scorecards is always wild. It seems to be in it. Like you'll get you'll get two that are just like, yeah, you understand them. And then you'll get one and you'll be like, oh, what fight did you watch? You know what I'm saying? The link is, by the way, people, the StreamYard link is on the YouTube in the comments if you do want to tune in and that. You know what I'm saying?
So you Flawless, let me ask you a question, yeah? So you did you see enough tonight from Usyk? Did you see enough tonight, yeah, from Usyk to make you believe that he can be a massive problem in terms of troubling the likes of Joshua, White, Fury, even maybe a Daniel Dubois if he comes through his next fight with Joe Joyce?
Yeah, because I was like, all right, how do you deal with the pressure? Number one, can you deal with the pressure? He dealt with the pressure well. I'm looking at it, he gave himself a 3 out of 10, which I was very shocked about. You get what I'm saying? Yo, Bits and Bob, I'm going to add you on in a sec. Yeah, I know, I'm going to add you on now. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking, what is that? But it's a mask. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking, what is going on? Shout out Bits and Bob, yo, that mask is scary. But as it was saying, yeah, shout out Bits and Bobs. Bits and Bobs, meet Lindrix, Beans and JK. You, man.
What are you saying? You good?
Yeah, man, out here, working and that. But yeah, as man was saying, innit? Yeah, so he dealt with the pressure well. He's like, all right, can you take shots? Can you take punches to the body? And of course, Chizzora can punch, innit? So I'm like, all right, you did that. Can you move around for 12 rounds? Your stamina's good. You get me? Your heart's good. I think he punches sharp enough to get his respect. So yeah, it's more interest. You get what I'm saying? Fury, no, I said this, innit? I think Fury is too big for him, number one, and boxes way too much. He's just too awkward in it. Fury's 6'9", or however tall he is, and moves like he's 5'9". You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, 6'9", isn't it?
Yeah, or whatever you get. That's what I'm saying, innit? Wilder, I think, just has that knockout power. You know what I'm saying? Like he could be beating him 11 rounds, and then in the 12th round he catches him late in it. Joshua's the one I'm interested in. Joshua, White, those types. I'm like, okay, because we've seen how White dealt with. White went life and death with Derek Chisora, and obviously you can't do fighter A beats fighter B, and fighter B beat fighter C, so fighter A beats fighter C. It don't work like that. I'm just more interested.
Yeah. It's the styles, innit? It's the styles that make the fights.
So I'm like, okay, they're the two I want to see him against, innit? Either a White or a Joshua. But I'd prefer a White next and then a Joshua afterwards, so then we get the best possible Usyk. Bits and Bobs, give us your thoughts on the fight on that. Because he froze.
Yeah.
I think he froze. Yeah, he's froze. Man, I'll add you back in. Yo, jump off and then I'll add you back in. Go on,
what do you guys think about Usyk and Luis Ortiz? Two southpaws.
Oh, that's a goodie.
You know what? Yeah.
You ready? Go on, Beans.
You know what? If you note in the fight, as soon as Chizzora switched to southpaw, Usyk struggled.
Yes.
He struggled. And the thing is, Fury can fight southpaw as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So that was the first point in the whole fight where I thought, oh, this is interesting. He don't like it. And if I was Chizzora or someone in the corner of Chizzora, I'd have been saying, stick to that. That's the blueprint for you in this fight to win. Because as soon as he switched to that, he was beating him to the jab. He had him on the back foot constantly, and Usyk was almost like, "Oh shit, I don't know how to deal with this." He was like he was shocked.
No, I hear you. Yeah, Bits and Bobs, you with us? Yeah. Yo.
Yeah. Don't happen, man. Sorry, bro. Yo, you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you in it. You go on, keep going. Let us know your thoughts on the fight.
To be honest, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yo, just to before I go ahead, flawless, man. Big up, bro. Seriously, bro. Known you for a long time, bro. So appreciate just being on the same stream as you, man. Big up to you all, man, as well, man. Yeah, man. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie, yeah. I think Chizzora tried, didn't it? First couple of rounds, he was trying to box. I just thought because Usyk was lighter, more mobile. Do you know what I mean? He was always gonna win regardless on points. And however, on his performance overall, I don't think he even dents any of the main heavyweights personally. You know, you get touched on Fury, AJ. I just on today's performance, you know, I'm thinking AJ, I'm thinking Fury. I mean, Wilder, I'm not even bringing Wilder into this category because I feel AJ beats him anyway. But I just feel, it wasn't. Do you know what? It wasn't a dominant performance to say, okay, Usyk means business. You know what I'm trying to say? But he won.
I agree.
Yeah, man.
I agree.
Do you know what I'm trying to say, guys? Like, I just think, if he had knocked him out, in the first 4, between 1 and 6 rounds, then I'd be like, okay, this guy, do you know what I mean? He's making a statement. I just feel he didn't really make a statement on Chizzora. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because I think if he gets a ring with Tyson, you know, Tyson's going to deal with him like an empty tracksuit. Do you know what I mean? And if he gets in with AJ, AJ's experience, AJ's experience. Do you know what I'm saying? AJ's experience is going to be like, you're not doing this to me, bro. And I just feel like Chizzora was a bit naive, man. Because for him to go in for it so early, I just felt so naive. And he's quite experienced, you know. But yeah, man, that's my my thoughts on it, bro.
Bro, the thing is, they chose Usyk to fight Chizzora to make Usyk look good because Chizzora is not a top heavyweight. He's not a top heavyweight anymore. So they've chosen Chizzora to fight Usyk to make Usyk look good. And he didn't look amazing against Chizzora. And the thing is, bro, like, we can sit here and talk about, man's had a year out of the ring. But like, they hold Usyk up as one of the greatest, one of the greatest in the world. He's undefeated. He's one of the best ever. If Mayweather came in and gave that performance, like, people, let's put it this way: if Mayweather had a year off, which we've seen him do, a year, 2 years off, and come back in, his performance is always better than that. Do you know what I'm saying? And if he'd have given the performance and won the fight, we'd have torn him down. We'd have been like, oh no, it wasn't good enough for him to win the fight. Rah, 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 rah. The thing for me is like, Usyk's on the hype train at the minute, innit? So like, he's gonna make money for them. He's able to bring in revenue now. They want to make him a pay-per-view star out here. And for me, if he struggled with Chizzora like that, he's not going to be able to deal. He wouldn't even be able to deal with a Dillian White easily. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what, mate? Dillian White, I didn't even think of him. Can you imagine Dillian White in the ring with him? Dillian White would have been like, what, you want to tour it up? Come on, let's scrap. Do you know what I mean? And obviously Dillian White is starting and learning to compose himself to actually try and box a bit smarter.
Yeah.
So, you know, doesn't make those mistakes that Derek was making tonight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And man, like, 100% agree with you, Lindrix, because do you know when you watch it, if you're Usyk, deep it like this, check it. You think, okay, I knock him out in the first between 1 and 6 rounds, then I send shockwaves around this heavyweight department. Do you know what I mean? I put Chizzora on his back. Do you get me? But he didn't do that, bro. Like he was running about doing what he had to do to win. And the heavyweight, look at Povetkin, like, bro, anyone can get it if you want to ruffle it up. And he got his win today. Credit to him. However, for the next battle, I don't know, man. Seriously, I don't know for the guy, personally. I mean, I know he'll probably say he's capable, he'll be confident. Of course he should be, you know, he's not lost. Against AJ Fury, Dylan White must be looking like, bro, I'm going to knock you out. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Here's the thing with Lindrick. I mean, going back to what Lindrick said about them picking Chizzora. I think Chizzora was, even though they picked him to look good against him, he's a great test. It's a great marker. Like he's not.
He's a good test.
Heavyweight. Yes, he's like, all right. He's kind of like a good gatekeeper. Test. Yeah, let's see how good you are. You know what? If
you talk about a man who's slow, who's older, who's a slugger, he's not a heavyweight.
No, he's not a heavyweight. But one thing Chizzora can do is punch. So if Chizzora would have went out and clocked Usyk and would have flattened him, we know, all right, you're not at this level. Because the worst thing Usyk could have done is jumped in there straight away with a Wilder. Your second fight at heavyweight after a year out the ring and got sparked out. You don't start at the top. It's like, okay, you get your feet wet. You go in, if it's swimming, you go in at the shallow end. You don't just jump, you get me straight in at the deep end and that with the shark. So it's kind of like, all right, this is a test and it's something to learn from. You build up. So we went with Chaz Witherspoon, who was the replacement. Then he's gone Chizzora. So then his next fight should be someone, if it's not a Joshua or a Fury, someone closer to them. Say a Dillian White. Say a Andy Ruiz. Someone else that next jump up. It's like you have to see how good he is.
I agree, man.
Because to be fair, going back to what I was saying before, like because I don't think that was a great performance from Usyk, and I think, you know, Chizzora made it uncomfortable for him. You're right, it was a test for him, because actually, for me now, watching how he fought against Chizzora, I'm not confident that he can move forward in the heavyweight division and beat the champs. I'm not confident in that at all. I think as soon as he steps to a Povetkin or a White, it's game over.
So you don't think he beats Povetkin? Wait. You don't think he beats Povetkin? One sec, Bean. You don't think he beats Povetkin?
Yeah. I think
that's a wild statement to me.
Okay, I will say this. You can't beat him. I'm saying I don't think it's going to be if it goes the distance, it's not going to be a convincing win, because Povetkin can actually box.
You know, go on, Beans. I just wanted to hear the point to that. Go on, Beans. Say your piece in it. And then JK jump in afterwards on that.
Yeah. So with that one there, I agree with you, Flawless. I don't think he beat. I think he beats Povetkin because Povetkin is nowhere near at the level no more. Obviously, he dropped White, but that's just the power. That's the last thing for any top heavyweights to go, is the power. So even on this performance with Usyk, he beats Povetkin. But the other guys that are now in what you call the elite, because Derek Chisora is not in the elite, he's just below that. So Dillian White can box. He knows how to cut the ring off. So can Joshua. He knows how to cut the ring off. And so can Fury. So that's the problem that Usyk's going to have, because none of those guys are going to allow Usyk to dictate the pace. They're going to put him on the back foot, pressure him, and if they want to rough it up with him, they can, because you remember he's got to punch up to those guys as well, where Chizzora tonight, he could box at the same level. Do you know what I'm saying? He's got to punch up against those guys. So he's got to take the fight to them guys, because his reach advantage is not in the same, you know what I mean? They've got a massive reach on him. Yeah. And like I say, they've got the proper boxing credentials to match him in terms of his boxing credentials. And I think a lot of people underestimate Joshua's boxing ability. You remember, he's still a Olympic champion, and look at his last fight, how he boxed Ruiz's head off. He comfortably done it with footwork, with cutting the ring off, dictating the do you know what I mean, ring generalship, like we've said before. You know what I'm saying? So that's the problem what Usyk's got. Everything's against him, but in terms of his actual slickness and the fact that he's a southpaw, that's the difficulty that those guys have to get someone to spar him. It's all about just on the night, you're just gonna have to work him out as you go along through the first few rounds.
I know what you're saying. So just before we go to you, JK, Ben Chango says Chizzora, you meant Chizzora. He said Chizzora should have made the most of the first 4 rounds. He could have had it over and done with. He also said I can see him being AJ, but not Fury. He needs to put on a bit of weight. Ahmed says, I told you if it goes the length, Usyk takes the fight. He was in cruise control after the first 2 rounds. I hear what you're saying. JK, what's your thoughts on Usyk fighting at top heavyweight? How'd you see him doing?
I say if they're trying to really build him at heavyweight, they need to put him against the older guys, you know, like the Povetkin's and stuff like I've been saying. But if they really want to test him, they need to put him in there with the top, like young prospects. You got Joyce, you got Dubois. I forgot the African dude. He's like Wilder type. I forgot his name. He's knocked out everybody. I think.
I know what you're saying. The African guy, yeah.
Yeah,
forgot his name still.
But there's so many younger people that they need to put. If he wants to be tested, I think he should go against the younger guys, not the older ones.
Even the guy
the
that
older ones, it's not going to do nothing for him.
Even the guy that fought White,
really test him.
Rivas, that's a decent challenge for him.
And then you also got that.
Actually, that's a good point. Actually, yeah.
Go on, JK. 1 sec, bits and bobs. Go on, JK. Finish your point.
Sorry,
I was just saying. I think he needs to go against the younger guys. The older guys ain't gonna do. They're not really gonna. They're not gonna push him the way he needs to be pushed, to be tested.
Yeah.
He could have walked around the ring all day with Chizzora, man.
Yeah,
that's a fair point. It'd be interesting to see, like you said, someone younger. Be interesting to see.
If they keep putting him against the older guys, they're just doing what they did with Wilder and building up his roster of wins, rather than actually challenging him in the division. Do you know what I mean? For me, if you look at Wilder's record, Wilder's fought mostly journeymen, innit? Like, and of course he's got a hard punch, but most of he's not had massive top contender fighters most of his career. He's had Fury is his and Ortiz are his main contenders, really. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
If they keep putting him against the older guys, Usyk, they're just building up his roster again to make it look like, oh, he can run through these heavyweights. But it's like you can't do that, bro.
I think with Usyk, because he's mandatory positions, he's gonna go for that WBO. So whether it's after the undisputed, so say we get Fury Joshua.
Yeah,
he's gonna go for that belt. So regardless of if it's after that fight or Joshua vacates or something. So I think if it's not his next fight, his fight after, we're gonna find out if he's the real deal, because he's gonna be in with one of them. I can see him in with Joshua or Fury. I think whoever's got the belt, he'll fight. I don't think he'll.
Here's an interesting.
Go on, fam.
Here's an interesting take, yeah, because the WBO manager's not due to be called yet. The WBC one's already been called for February.
Yeah.
So whoever obviously wins the next fight now between White and Povetkin, they'll be put back in that spot. So for Fury to fight Joshua, all the belts have got to be on the line. It's pointless them fighting just for bragging rights at this stage.
I agree with you. Go on. Sorry.
If it gets to February and there's no deal where they fight White, then he has to vacate.
Yeah, and I think,
do you know what I'm saying? That puts the Usyk situation where I don't think he's gonna get a shot at either Joshua or Fury next because of the White situation. So depending on how that goes, it could either be Usyk against White, potentially for the WBC belt on the line, if Fury vacates, because I don't think Fury wants to fight White, to be honest.
You know what? It's going to be interesting, and I think the fact that we're talking about all of the variables in the heavyweight division tells you how exciting it is. We've named 5, 6, 7 fighters all in the mix, so I could see Usyk fighting again early next year. And then after that, calling is mandatory, because obviously you have your WBCs, IBFs. I don't know the dates of them all.
Well, the IBF has already been called because that's Pulev. Okay. So it's the WBC. So it will probably be the WBO after that, and then it'll go to the WBA. So and then IBF again, and that, you know what I mean? They all take turns in it.
Yeah. So I think whoever's holding the belt, he will challenge unless it has been vacated, and then it's himself and the number 2. I'm not sure at the minute who's number 2 in the WBO.
I think the bar is the top ranking WBO guy. I think after Usyk.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he is.
So, right.
How that's worked out because he ain't really fought no credible guys. But you know how all these rankings are just weird. Like it's just nuts, innit? It's just crazy.
Politics. I was going to ask you, man. Actually, like,
go on.
Are Joyce and Dubois actually at that level yet to be fighting? Like, have they got what it takes to be fighting a Joshua and a Fury and a Wilder and a do you know what I mean? Like
Joyce,
not yet. Nah.
Joyce ain't got a choice because he's old. You have to remember that he's like 36, 37 or something. Joyce, he's not young, so that's why they fast track it. Remember, he turned pro at 32. That was like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. That's why they're fast tracking his career. Do you know what I'm saying? Because he's just been an amateur for like 10 years.
That's a muzzle.
Something mad like that. So he's not young. He's not young, bro. He's old, innit? Yeah. So that's why they fast tracked his career, innit? So it's a tough one for him as well, Dubois. I think Dubois will beat him, but he's a tough guy, Joyce. You know what I mean? He's durable.
That's a muzzle. Yeah. Go on, Bits and Bobs. You had something to say, man. Cut you off by accident. My apologies. Go on.
No. I'm just saying. I agree with the man them here. You know, like sorry, I had to switch from my tablet to my laptop real quick.
Nah, it's cool, man. No business.
No, I agree with the man then because like Lindrix, man, and Beans, what you were saying, man. I agree with every word you say, bro, because do you know what? Yeah, like it's gonna be interesting. What happens now? Because see after Usyk won, what is he? The mandatory now, right?
Yeah, for the WBO,
yeah. So why go on for Dillian White then? Do you know what I mean? Like,
so it's the ranking, it's the different sanction, it's the different bodies in it. So WBC is next in February. The IBF has already been called now for Joshua for Pulev, and then after the WBC it'll be the WBO, then WBA. So I don't know who. I think that what's that guy called? I think it's like Eastern European. He's the WBA guy.
Okay.
I forgot what it's called now. So that'll be like third in the that's like third in the rankings. So that ain't gonna be called till like the back end of next year.
Do you guys think he's gonna be the next golden boy now? Like, because obviously he's got this record, you know.
Usyk.
Are you talking about Usyk?
Yeah. Like, do you think he's gonna be the next golden boy? Like, let's get him up. Because I feel like they're trying to fast track him to the top, and I think to myself, we've not even had AJ Fury yet. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is Usyk bringing to the party right now? Do you know what I'm trying to say to you?
If he
go on, Beans.
No, go on, bro.
Nah, I was just gonna say, I could see him not being the next golden boy, but Usyk, if I'm correct, I think I've seen it. He's saying he's like 33, so it's like you've already dominated cruiserweight, you're undisputed. It's like, okay, let's see. There's no point in waiting around. Let's see how good you really are. Like, I'm so it's like, okay. So I like the fact that he came up, he fought Chaz Witherspoon, he fought Chizzora. Now the next one has to be a step up from Chizzora, and then if that's say a White or a Andy Ruiz, cool. And then the next step up after that has to be whoever's holding the belt, innit? Because then once you're holding the title belt, you then can have unification bouts. Let's see him in these bouts. That's one thing we talked about with the heavyweight division is that it's now exciting. It's exciting. So it's kind of like, all right. Let's get to it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to it.
Definitely. He's good enough to compete for it. If you look at probably the last 4 or 5 guys that have challenged for the belt, do you know what I'm saying? It's not like you can rule him out because there ain't never been anyone that credible.
Exactly.
That's a fair point. So everyone just give their last thoughts on final thoughts on the fight and final thoughts on Usyk. We'll start with you, JK.
Pretty good fight, man. Wanted to see him press the issue. I want to see him fight some younger guys at heavyweight if that's what he's gonna really do. So I can see him be pushed and see if he's really about it. That's about it.
Okay, Lindrick, same question to you. Like, what are your final thoughts on the bout? and what you think of Usyk? Like, where's he going next, type of thing?
Yeah, it was an entertaining fight. I enjoyed watching it. I expected a little bit more from Usyk, but I think, you know, if he can go on and like JK says, beat some of these younger guys, then I'll be more inclined to be like, okay, cool, he's got a shot to winning one of these titles. But right now, I'm not really sure.
Okay, same question to you, Bits and Bobs.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo what the guys are saying, man. Yeah, okay, cool. He won today, cool. You can only beat what's in front of you, but you know, go out and make a statement. You know, boss, I hear what you're saying about him. Let's see if he's got it. However, I think there'll be some politics around him getting a shot at the big boys. So I think, yeah, go be around the other heavyweights that are trying to make noise, shut them up, and then come back and then be like, yeah, let's do this.
Okay. And Beans, yeah, I mean, last but not least, same to you.
Yeah, pretty similar, you know. Needs another challenge in it. He done what he needed to do tonight. You know what I mean? He passed that test, but there's bigger challenges before he goes to the top guys in it. Before, so maybe a White or somebody like that next.
Yeah.
Someone just below the sort of class. And Derek Chisora owes me £5.
Nah, I told you, yo, man.
Derek. He owes me £5.
Actually, that being said, before we go, this is all quick again. We'll go with this. Just before I get to the next question, please make sure if you're watching this live or you're watching this back, hit the like button, people. Hit the like button on the video.
And subscribe to the channel.
Yes, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and share this across all your socials. JK, where do you think Chizzora goes from here? Does he retire or does he just become a gatekeeper?
Gatekeeper, he can still make some money.
Okay. Lindrick, same to you.
I agree, bro. He can make his money for a little bit. I think he's got maybe a couple years and then he should just pack it in.
Bits and Bobs?
Yeah, I agree with everyone, man. He still has a fan base and a crowd. You know, people are still going to tune in to watch him. So, you know, it would be nice if he could finish on a win, you know, if he gets another fight. And if he does win dominantly, maybe that would be the time to call it a day, you know. So, yeah, definitely, man.
And Beans, same again.
Yeah, echo what the guys have said. He still can carry on. You know what I mean? He thought he won the fight tonight in his post-match interview. So, you know, I know it's wild. And probably when he watches it back, he might think different. But yeah, he's still got a couple of fights left in him. Yeah, he already said before the fight anyway that he wasn't going to retire, regardless of what happened, unless he got absolutely knocked out. So.
And just one last thing, I noticed, if any of you noticed it in Chizzora's post match bout, I mean his post interview bout, and he said he was mad at Eddie Hearn. He's lucky he's not here. Does anyone know why?
Yeah, what wrong for that? What was that about?
Do you know what? They always have this because he was saying before that in the build up in the week that Eddie Hearn is up Usyk's ass. And every time he loses, he always attacks Eddie Hearn. It's just like this relationship that they have. So probably in like a day or two, they'll be cool again, innit? Like he was on live with Eddie the other night. I think what it is with Chizzora, he hates to love Eddie Hearn, but he knows that he's the number one guy in boxing. Do you know what I mean? He's the one that's going to get Chizzora the best fights that's still available for him. So it's a mad relationship, man. Yeah, I don't think there was anything in it.
Yeah, because it just caught me off guard because I'm like, I don't know what happened. I don't know if
I've seen him go out loads of times in it.
So that's why I was like, all right, let me ask you, man, because you know I picked up something that I missed. Lads, Usyk had a comfortable. I'm just getting to these comments before we do leave. Lads, Usyk had a comfortable victory, but he has a lot of effing work to do if he wants to fight the big boys and hold the belt. He also says Usyk doesn't have enough power, and this is a straight. How do you know about pounded yam? Man said they'll wash him at the top level. He needs some pounded yam. I just didn't expect that. Shout out Ahmed.
Bro, that's my people's food, man. That's my people's food. Man.
Yeah,
that's my people's food. You know.
Yeah, man. Shout out Ahmed in it because he's one of the what's it called mods. Yo, Bits and Bobs. I'm gonna make you one of the mods also in it. I'll probably do it tonight.
Safe my G.
Man. I don't think Usyk could get past Dubois. That's what Sentiment FC is saying. Ben Shango says, overall, good fight. Usyk a bit rusty. I can see him coming out better in his next fight. That's my thoughts on it as well. He has been out the ring a year, and I think that takes its toll. So hopefully he gets out regular because we want to see the best Usyk possible. This is why I want all these heavyweights out regular because it's then you get the best possible fight. I don't want no rusty Usyk or rusty Joshua or Pulev or Wilder or Fury or whoever. It's like, yo, you man, there's no substitute for competitive, like, especially being at the highest level. When you're at the top, there's no substitute for that.
It's a year in it for Joshua now. It's a year for Joshua in it.
This is what I'm saying. So it's good that Joshua's not fighting a Fury. It's good that he's fighting a Puma. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, get the rust off. You've been out a year.
They're all going to be for a bit, though, innit? Because it's been this whole COVID thing. Everything's been off. Everyone's been out the gym. They've not been able to train the same way. So, you know, everyone's going to be. It's not an excuse, bro. You show up on the night and you do your job, man. Do you know what I mean? If I go on stage, bro, and I'm cracking and spluttering just because I've not sang in a few months, people are going to want their ticket money back, innit? Like, show up and do your job, bro. You're a professional. That's what you do.
It's not an excuse, though. I'm just looking at it as a reason from performance. As long as you win, you get the win. Usyk got the win. Man gave himself a 3 out of 10. So I'm like, right. I'd love to see I'd love to see your 7 out of 10. If that's a 3, I want to know your 7. If that's a 3,
that's probably just that's just arrogance, innit? Like, he's just a bit.
You know what?
That's arrogance. Which you need to have. You need to have that at the top level. Though, don't get me wrong.
You do need to have the arrogance, but you're someone who I know very well, Beans, in terms of who strives for excellence like that. So I can imagine you saying that type of thing. You get what I'm saying, and that where you'd be like, "Well, it wasn't a good performance." I believe him. I do believe him. I fully because I think he is that good, but it's just the fact that man gave himself man didn't even say 5. You get me? Average 3, you know, and man still won. So
that could be his initial reaction, you know, after the fight. I think when he watches it back, he could at least go to a 5 or 6. Yeah, man. That's how I view this performance. Not a 3. But then again, if that's you in the ring and then you just come out of there, you might be thinking in your head, nah, that's way below my normal standard.
Yes.
So maybe he might view it that way. Even like on the flip side with Chizzora, he's saying, "Oh, I believe I won the fight." If he watches that back, he will see that he was in the fight, but he didn't win the fight.
Yeah. And also you need to remember, guys, that like because Usyk is normally dominant. You know what I mean? He normally dominates these people. You know what I mean? And he has his way with his opponents, But Chizzora is heavier. Chizora's an experienced pro. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So he's probably thinking, "Oh, I didn't do that well." However, for you to get the win against Chizzora, bro, that's, you know what I mean? That's not a small feat. Do you know what I mean? Like, Chizzora's been in there with the best, but I think looking at it, I agree with Flores that, man, they were rusty and so on. They're all going to be rusty. But Lindrix, I hear what you're saying, man. You're a professional. It's your job to stay fit, stay in condition, turn up on the night, do your job. I'll tell you what will be interesting, though, is if Chizzora wants to fight him again. You know, because
they said he did.
Like, that'll be interesting. Because, like,
you know what? Sorry to cut you off, bits and bobs. I'm for a rematch. I would have no issue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know,
no issue with a rematch. Just saying that. Go on.
Yeah, because I just think the way the fight went, I'm thinking, okay, Usyk's got the win, but I think both of their egos would be a bit like, I should have done better. Chizzora would be thinking, I should have won. You know, you never know, man. Like, because none of them are getting a big boy fight. When I say big boy fight, I mean AJ Fury.
Next.
You know what I'm trying to say? So, I mean, best of I don't think it's a bad thing if they have a rematch, personally. You know?
If I was Chizzora, I'd shave half a stone off. 17 and a half stone. Yeah. That's what he was like in the white fight. He was that's what he was like in the white fight. He was lighter. Yeah, I think he went with the heavier approach tonight to try and bully Usyk.
Yeah.
You don't need to.
Say that, you know.
If he shaves half a stone off, goes down to maybe 17, 6, 7, and then maybe works on being able to cut the ring off, because that's the one thing that he struggled with tonight. He didn't know, or he just didn't engage in cutting the ring off.
Right?
Well, you know what?
So unprofessional from him.
I give Usyk credit for that because he's a mover. Because I noticed from the first round, when the first round finished, and what's his face, and Thingy went back to his corner. Chizzora went back to his corner. He had his mouth open, and was breathing heavy, and he had his arms on the ropes like that. And I'm like, that's a sign that you're tired. And I'm like, this is round 1. But that's I gotta give credit to Usyk. I was unsure if Usyk could, even though I'm sold on him, like, okay, we're gonna see if you can move like that for 12 rounds with a big, legitimate heavyweight pressing you. And he was fine. He did it well and got his shot from his combination.
And you've got to give Chizzora credit as well for actually making it through those 12 rounds with him being that gassed at the end of round 1. Like, he kept his tank running and he kept attacking throughout the whole fight. So well done to Chizzora.
Usyk's a big cruiserweight as well, though. He's a big cruiserweight. When he was at cruiserweight, he was a big cruiserweight. When he came to this division now. He was a very big cruiserweight. Do you know what I'm saying? So when he comes into the heavyweight division, that's obviously the test, isn't it? He's been now one of the smaller guys, but he still was able to use. He's only put a stone on. It's not a massive amount.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the question. Go on. Sorry, Beans.
No, it's cool. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask this question to you. Actually, Beans, in it. He said, "Do you reckon?" Well, Ben Shango said, "Do you reckon we'll see AJ Usyk?" So we'll start with you.
Yeah, we'll see it, but it won't be next.
Okay.
It won't after. Well, obviously AJ's got to get past Pula, which he should do, and then I don't think it will, because, like I say, the WBC is already the next mandatory. So depending on whether Tyson Fury agrees to fight White, if he exercises that and then he says, right, okay, yeah, I'll fight White, then maybe we could see AJ use it, because then the WBO mandatory can then get called straight away. But if Fury says
fight White before he fights Joshua, right?
He doesn't have to, unless he gives up the belt. If he gives up the belt and then the WBC title becomes vacant,
yeah,
do you know what I'm saying? Then he fights. But then does AJ want to? But then does AJ want to fight Fury when he's putting all his belts on the line and there's nothing for him to gain?
Exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying? So
that's what I'm saying. So he might have to fight. He might have to fight White if he wants to keep that belt to fight.
Yeah, might be.
Because that fight, it can't happen anyway until probably June anyway.
Yeah. Right. Here's the thing with that fight, though. I think we all agree on here. No matter who you have winning, the winner of AJ Fury is the number one heavyweight. We all agree on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously the 1000%, but that's the fight where everyone's like, it don't matter if it's one belt or four belts.
Bro, you imagine if AJ beats, imagine this, if AJ beats Fury, Usyk's the only heavyweight with an undefeated record.
Yeah, that's a massive. I know what you're saying. Yeah,
what is that about?
Bits and Bobs, same question to you. Do you reckon we'll see the fight though, AJ Usyk? This is just.
Do you know? I'm gonna agree with Beans, because do you know what? Yeah, I think the answer to that, it becomes political, because when I say that, I mean, does it make sense? Because if AJ beats Fury, and depending if AJ fights Fury, depending if Fury's got whatever Fury has. So if Fury doesn't have a belt, AJ might be like, I'm not going to really gain anything from here. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
From what I've heard, it's supposed to be a 2-fight deal. Obviously, because both of them having belts, you automatically put a rematch clause in it anyway.
Exactly.
So,
right. So for Usyk, is Usyk going to wait 2 years for us? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
It depends on if he's like, okay, he might look at it like, let me keep ticking over at heavyweight. Whoever wins out of Fury and AJ, if I fight them and I beat them, I'm the fucking man. I'm the guy now. I'm the.
You don't have to rush. Usyk's in a good position right now. Personally, you don't need to rush.
Yeah,
you don't need to rush.
You can fight your Whites. You've got Ruiz there if you want to go.
There's bare fights there for him.
You never know in 2 years. 2 years is a long time in boxing. We all know that. You never know who can come on the scene. Someone could just burst on the scene out of nowhere. Lindrick, same question to you before we dip. Do you reckon we'll see AJ Usyk? Do you reckon we'll see AJ Usyk?
I reckon we will. Like I say, I don't think it'll be next, but I reckon we'll see it. I just don't. I don't care about it.
Lindrick, isn't it?
Man said he don't care about it. Man said he don't care about it. You know.
So Lindrick, instead of wasting time, just tell him, man, y'all don't really care about it, innit? We just keep
No, but you know what it was? Flawless. I'm not wasting time. I had to think about it for a second. Do you know what I mean? Look at you. Look at you. Yeah, you better lift your mouth up. Look at you.
I look good considering I'm tired.
Yo, Flawless.
Podcast of the day. Go on, fam.
What do you think? Do you think it should be next?
Yeah, man.
No. I don't think it will be next, but do I believe it will happen? Yeah, because I reckon I don't think Usyk will lose the WBO mandatory. 2, I don't see AJ giving up the belt, so I can see Usyk maybe waiting and forcing it through, or saying working something out. Like I said, and I don't see either of them budging. Plus, it's a big fight. You know what I'm saying? To me, there's so many variables breaking down that fight. You can pick whoever, and you have valid points for both. But yes, you have enjoyed the Big Fights, Big Nights Only show. We will be back. We're back tonight. See, we don't stop working. We're back tonight doing the recap of Tank Davis versus Santa Cruz. I'll be on. JK will be back. I'm not sure if Lindrix, Beans, and Bits
I'll be back. I'll be back.
Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back. Just a quick one as well.
I'm here to support, man. Always, bro. Always, bro.
If you want to jump on, you might feel free. Go on, Beans.
Your right horse just stopped Silva, if you didn't know, in the UFC. 4th round stoppage.
What?
Yeah, it's just stopped doing it. Yeah.
And speaking of UFC people, also on Sarcasm City TV, because we try and cater for everyone. Lindrix, Beans, and our Don Stroh have a UFC show on here.
Big up Stroh.
Yeah, big up Stroh talking UFC, MMA, walk to the octagon. You get what I'm saying, and that. So make sure you check that out. And this podcast and all of this show and all of the shows on Sarcasm City TV are available on audio platforms only. So wherever you listen to podcasts, type in Sarcasm City, whether it's SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, you can find it audio only. Listen to it at home, listen to it in your car, wherever else, you get what I'm saying. But this has been Big Fights, Big Nights Only. Thank you very much for tuning in.